Hey, welcome back to my channel. I have a fun video for you guys today. I'm going to describe a book in 10 words, in one sentence, and you've got to try and guess the book. These are going to be very popular, very famous books. Obviously books I've talked about on my channel a lot, so I feel like you've got some chance. So let's dive in with book number 1. She enters a deadly academy where dragons decide who survives. Get your guesses in because that is book 1, and then we'll go for the reveal. And of course, it was Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I had to do a Rebecca Yarros book. She is queen. This is the book about Violet, who's gone off to Basgiath War College to train to work in the library and be a scribe. But when she gets there, her mother has other ideas, and she's like, no, Violet, you're going to be a dragon rider. Now, if you do not bond with the dragon on Threshing Day, which we know book 4, not book 4, is going to be about, then you don't get to survive. Like, you don't get to continue in the War College, and you might even be killed when you're trying to bond with a dragon. If you haven't read this romantasy, now is the perfect time to start it. In September we have book 3.5 coming out, I think is what we're going to have to call it, which is the Threshing Day, specifically, of all the different characters' points of views, and I cannot wait for it. So yeah, if you haven't read this, make sure it's on your TBR, and if you guessed it, let me know in the comments. Book 2. She gets dumped, then takes her honeymoon with her friend. Get your thoughts going. Try and work out what it is. It, of course, was Our Perfect Storm by Carley Fortune. I think some of you might have struggled with this one because it's a new one and I'm not sure everybody's read about it, but I haven't stopped talking about it. This is Frankie and George's story. He's a guy, she's a girl, they've been best friends for years. She's getting married. On her wedding day, her fiance decides he doesn't want to go ahead with it. And so her best friend's like, right, okay, we're going to go on holiday, we're going to do your honeymoon, we're going to spend some time together, we're going to rekindle this friendship. One of the best friends to lovers tropes I think I've ever read. There is a scene near the end of the book that emotionally destroyed me and then some. You guys know I love Carley Fortune, so this is a perfect one. It's still August, so you could get it onto your summer TBR and get it read, but let me know in the comments, did you guess that one? Okay, book 3. She's imprisoned because her touch is deadly, but everything changes. I find it really hard to count the 10. Have a guess. Have a guess. I think you're going to guess this one. Drum roll, please. It is Shatter Me by Tahereh Mafi. If you haven't read this series, it is coming as a screen adaptation soon, so I definitely get it on your TBR. She has this touch which is deadly. She's been locked away. Somebody's going to let her loose, and she might realise actually that her power is her saving grace. She shouldn't be afraid of it. There is one of the best romantic interests in dystopian fantasy romance that I've ever seen, and I absolutely love this. I cannot explain how good this is. So definitely make sure you get this one on your TBR, and I do have the stunning collector's edition of this whole series. Okay, book 4. She investigates a murder everyone thought was solved years ago. What could it be? I think this one's gonna be super obvious because book 4 is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson, which you guys know is probably one of my favourite crime thriller books. I love this series so much. I love the TV adaptation of it. It's about a schoolgirl called Pip who's investigating a cold case murder, and everything just starts going wrong for Pip and she gets herself into some tricky situations. I love the collector's editions of these. I have like 6 or 7 copies of this series, and it has mixed media inside. Again, if you haven't read this, I feel like every single one I'm going to do is quite popular or something very special to me. But get this on your TBR ASAP. Okay, book 5. She enters a magical game where nothing is ever real. Oh, I think you're going to know this one as well because, of course, it is the Caraval series by Stephanie Garber. Well, specifically Caraval. This is about a girl who has written to the Caraval Master for years and years and years, and all she ever wants to do is go to the Caraval. She wants to go for 1 year, compete in it, and the year she's invited, she has an arranged marriage. So does she go? Does she stay? What will she do? What is her sister up to? This is YA fantasy. It's beautifully written. I love this and the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. Of course, we're getting the new book in the Once Upon a Broken Heart series soon, so I thought this was a really good one to put on the list. So definitely make sure you check this out, and I do have the collector's editions. I think you can tell when I like a book, I end up having the collector's editions. There's going to be a few on this video. Okay, book 6. She discovers she doesn't fit society's rules and must choose. I think this one's the most obvious. If you've been watching my page, you know I've got a very special book in my hands, and that is by Veronica Roth, and yes, this is the 15th edition special edition because, again, if I love a book, I'm going to have a special edition of it. This is about a girl called Triss who lives in a world where you fit into one of 5 factions, and some people are factionless because they don't fit, or some people are divergent because they may fit into more than one. And that's the situation Triss finds herself in. What's she going to do? How's she going to behave? How is she going to get out of this? Time will tell. But this book is dystopian heaven. This is the reason I read dystopian books, because of this, Hunger Games, and Maze Runner. I feel like those 3 shaped who I am as a reader, as an adult. So yeah, if you didn't guess that one, I'd be super surprised. Okay, it's book 7. She marries a werewolf to secure peace between their communities. I think this one's going to be a little bit trickier. Have a little bit of a think. Have a think about what Mills has talked about in the last few years, because of course it is Bride by Ali Hazelwood. I delayed reading this book because me and Ali Hazelwood, we got our issues. Sometimes I love the gal, sometimes I can't be bothered. And I didn't want to go into this and ruin werewolves and vampires for myself, to be honest. This was actually better than Twilight. So you have this girl called Misery who is a vampire, and she agrees to marry a werewolf for an alliance. And maybe she likes him. Maybe it isn't as bad as she thought. I love this book. The tension, the drama, the eventual spice. It was so good. So yeah, did you guess what? I think this might be one of the hardest ones I put forward because it's popular with me, but it might not be the most popular book that we see talked about. Just going to give you a quick clue. The next 3, the final 3, are all dark romances. So get your dark romance head switched on now. Okay, book 8. She joins the military, then gets paired with her enemy. I mean, this one's super obvious, no? Of course it was Leave Me Behind by K.O. Moronova. I actually own 4 copies of this book, and I love it so much. This is Bones and Bunny's story. She's forced to join the dark military forces. She's had a one-night fling with a guy on the way there. Turns out he is in her group, and they have to work closely together. Kind of a forced proximity, enemies to lovers situation. Absolutely amazing, spicy, fun, dramatic, will make you cry, and the artwork inside is stunning. The most beautiful artwork. So I would definitely recommend getting this on your list if you love a dark romance. This is probably one of my favourites. Okay, book 9. 2 rival killers compete while unexpectedly falling in love together. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I was like, is that going to be 10 words, or am I going to go with 10 words? I feel like this one's super obvious as well, of course. It's Butcher and Blackbird by Brynne Weaver. This is like my OG comedy dark romance. I had to put this one in there because Brynne Weaver is just queen when it comes to making you want to throw up with food. So this is Sloane's story. She is a serial killer. She has met Rowan, and they are going to have a little bit of a competition. They're going to see if they can go to this town that they're sent to, find who the bad person is, and remove them from the world, and whoever can do it the quickest wins. Because why make serial killing boring? Why not have a little bit of fun with it? This trilogy is absolutely amazing. I'm feeling like a reread. I've seen you can do a tandem read, and I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. Book 10. She inherited a haunted house. She inherited a haunted house while a mysterious stalker watches. I feel like this is the most obvious. I left it till the end. Of course it's Haunting Adeline. Of course it is, by H.G. Colton. I feel like that was the most obvious one ever. This is about a girl called Adeline who has inherited her grandmother's house, and she finds this diary from her grandmother who says somebody's been watching her, somebody's been following her, somebody's been stalking her, and the same has started to happen to Adeline. This is probably like the internet's most loved and despised book at the same time. I feel like people are really hit and miss of it. They're like, yay or big fat nay. Make sure you check this one out because, again, we've got movie rights. We've got a movie coming, and H.G. Colton is involved in the movie, so we know it's going to be good. Okay, so that brings us to the end. That was 10 books. How many out of the 10 did you guess correctly? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed it, ask for a part 2. We can definitely do specifics. We could do all fantasy, all romance, all darkness. Do just let me know. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications, and I'll see you guys next Sunday. Bye!